Welcome to Swatantra Education. In this lecture, we are going to discuss some simple Java programs. So, the first step in learning a new programming language is to write a program that displays the message "Hello World." This message we need to display on the screen, "Hello World." So, for that, generally you will type the program using some sort of text editor and save the program in a file. So, in first step is type the program using some text editor, type the program, and in second step we can write save the program in a file. Then in third step we can use some command to compile the file or compile the program, and if the program has some syntax errors, then you will get that syntax errors, and if your program does not have any syntax errors, you will get a compiled version of the program. Or we can say after compilation you will either get a message that the program contains some syntax errors, or you will get a compiled version of the program. So, in step 3 we can write compile the program or compile the file, and it is going to produce, it is going to output the compiled version of the program if your program does not have any syntax errors. Now, in step 4 you can run the compiled program by giving some appropriate commands. So, step 4 I can write run the compiled version of the program, run the compiled version of the program by giving some appropriate commands. So, we will discuss the first program that is going to print hello world. So, here you can see the simple Java program that is going to print hello world on the screen or on the monitor. So, if we follow these steps, first you need to write this program using a text editor. So, I am writing here. So, in first step is to write the program through a text editor or using a text editor. That means you write this whole thing that we have written here in a text editor. Suppose for example you can say it is notepad. So, write the whole thing in a notepad. Then in second step save the program. So, for that you need to remember that the name you give to the source file is very important. So, in this example the name of the source file should be test.java. So, I am writing here name of the source file in this example should be test.java. because the name of the main class should match the name of the file that holds the program. So here you can see the name of the main class is test, or we can say the main method, here it is the main method is inside the class test. So test is called as the main class, or that contains the main method. So the file name should be test.java. Test means this one here. So the name of the main class should match the name of the file that holds the program. Okay. Then in step 3, what we need to do? In step 3, we need to compile the program that we have written here. Compile the program. So in step 3, we need to compile the program, and for that the command is javac filename.java. Filename.java is used to compile a Java program. So here the file name is test, so we can write the command as javac test.java, because the file name is test here. So just replace the name of the file with file name. So in this example, we need to give the command javac test.java to compile the program. Now after successful compilation, the compiler creates a file called test.class. So the compiler is going to create a file test.class after successful compilation. So this test.class contains the bytecode version of the program, and we have already discussed that the Java bytecode is the intermediate representation of your program that contains instructions the Java virtual machine or JVM will execute. You can remove this from step 4 because it is the output of step 3. So this test.class is generated after step 3. Now in step 4, we need to run the program. So to run the program, pass the class name test as a command line argument. So here we can write the command java test. So this is the command to run or execute the program, or in general we can say it is java then file name. The command should be java file name, and in this example, as the file name is test, so we are writing java test. Now when the program is run, it is going to display hello world on the screen. When this program is executed or run, it is going to display hello world on the screen. Okay. Now let us give line numbers in the program for the reference. So it is line number 1, line number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And remember that line numbers are not part of the program. We have given these line numbers for better understanding. So here you can see the line number 1 and 2. These line numbers represents comment. So we insert comment to document program and improve their readability. we insert comments to document programs and improve the readability. So for these two reasons, to document the program and improve the readability, we insert comments in a program. The Java compiler ignores the comments, so the comments do not cause the computer to perform any action when the program is run. So generally the compiler ignores the comments while it compiles the program or in the process of compilation. So they do not cause the computer to perform any action when the program is run. So in Java, comments are preceded by two slashes like this. So you can write the comment here following two slashes, or between this slash star and star slash. So this type of comment that follows two slashes is called as line comment, and the second type, this one, is called as block comment. So when the compiler sees this double slash, it ignores all text after this double slash on the same line, and similarly when it sees this slash and star, it scans for the, or it searches for the next star and slash and ignores any text between these slash star and star slash. So in line number 7, you can see here, in line number 7 you can find the single line comment, that is slash double slash end of class test. Similarly in line number 6 you can find the single line comment, and in line number 1 and 2 you can find the block comment, that is a program to display the message hello world is written inside slash star and star slash. So it is a block comment, and line number 6 contains a line comment and line number 7 contains a line comment, or we can say a single line comment. Okay, so let me erase these things. So we have discussed about line number 1 and line number 2, and come to line number 3. So line number 3 defines a class. So here the class name is test. Every Java program must have at least one class. So every Java program must have at least one class. So remember this thing, and each class has a name. So by convention, the class name starts with an uppercase letter or capital letter. So here you can see the class name is test and it starts with the uppercase letter T. So it is general convention to name a class. So the last character on the line, so here after test you can find the curly braces, upon curly braces or left curly braces. So this signals the start of class. So here this curly braces, this one, so it represents the start of class test. Okay. So similar to this, we have, or we can say corresponding to this, we have another end curly braces or right curly braces is there at line number 7. So this represents the end of class test that we have written in the comment. So this, let me erase the things. Okay. This test is name of the class, and the left curly braces or opening curly braces signals the start of class test, and the corresponding right curly braces at line number 7 represents or signals the end of class test. Okay, so now we have completed line number 3. Now move to line number 4. So line 4 begins the main method. So here main is written or the main method is written. So this is the line at which the program will begin its execution, or the program will begin executing. All Java applications begin execution by calling the main method. The full meaning of each part of this line, like why we are using public, why we are using static, why we are using void. So the full meaning of each part of this line cannot be given now. So we will discuss that later. So similar to the opening curly braces of line 3, the opening curly braces or the left curly braces at line 4 represents or signals the start of main method. Start of main method, or we can say the start of main method's body. So one corresponding end curly braces or right curly braces should be there, and that is at line number 6, or right curly braces that is present at line number 6 signals the end of the main method that we have written here. So this right curly braces signals the end of main method. So we have discussed the details about line number 4. So it signals or it represents the start of main method, and why we are using public, static, void, that we will discuss later. Okay, now come to line number 5. So line number 5 instructs the computer to perform an action. So namely, to display the characters contained between the double quotation marks. So here you can see the double quote here. So it instructs the computer to print or to display the text written inside the double quote, or you can say in particular in this example to print hello world. So I hope this program is clear to everyone. So now we will modify this program to print text on one line by using multiple statements. Okay. So see this program, it is similar to the previous one. So for better understanding, give the line numbers. So here this is line number 1, line number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So as we have previously discussed, the line number 1 and 2 represents the block comment, or it denotes the block comment, and in line number 3 defines a class, that is test1, and in line number 4 it starts the main method as we have previously discussed. Then in line number 5 we have system.out.print welcome to some space, then double quote ends. So it is going to print or display welcome to, then some space is there on the screen. Now you observe that here the method is print. So in print method, what is going to happen? The cursor remains in the same line. The cursor remains in the same line. But if it is println, then the cursor comes to the next line. So now it is print, so the cursor remains here. Now again system.out.println Java programming. So this Java programming is going to start from here. So you can observe that the statement 5 and 6, that is system.out.print welcome to prints this one, then system.out.println Java programming prints this one, and both the statement 5 and 6 prints the text in one line. So this welcome to Java programming is on a single line. A single statement can display multiple lines by using new line characters, that is represented by /n. So which indicate to systems.out, print and println methods when to position the output cursor at the beginning of the next line in the command window. So now we will see a program that outputs 4 lines of text using new line characters or using /n. So you can see this program. Let us give the line numbers 5, 6, 7 for clear understanding. So line 1 and 2 represents the block comment that is going to be ignored by the compiler, and line number 3 signals or denotes the class name as test2. Then line number 4 is the start of main method, and in line number 5 is a statement that is going to print something using system.out.println. So in line number 5 you can see, so first it is going to print welcome on the screen, welcome, then slash n. So slash n, that means it is the new line character, or the cursor moves to the next line. Then 2 is there, so it is going to print 2. Now again slash n is there, so the cursor moves to the next line. Then Java is there, so it is going to print Java. Again slash n is there, so the cursor comes to the next line. Then programming is there, so it is going to print programming here. Okay, now double quote is there, so it is end. So the output is like this: welcome to Java programming in 4 lines. Now line number 6, this is the right curly braces that signals end of main method, and line number 7, another right curly braces, that is the end of class test2. Okay, so now can you say me what will be the file name of this program? The file name of this program will be test2.java, because here the class name is test2, so we need to save the program as test2.java. Then when we compile the program, the command should be javac test2.java. Then to run the program, the command should be java test. So slash n here is also called as escape sequence. So an escape sequence consists of 2 characters and starts with a backslash character, like this is the backslash character. So some other escape sequences in Java are like this, that I am going to write here. Okay, so another escape sequence is /t. So it means a tab, or it is used to move the cursor to the next tab. Similarly, another escape sequence is there, that is backspace or /b. So it is, or its purpose is to move the cursor 1 space to the left. Then another one is double slash, so it prints the backslash character. Similarly, another escape sequence is slash and single quote, so it is used to print single quote character. Similarly, another escape sequence is slash double quote, so it is going to print double quote character on the screen. So some other escape sequences are there that we are not going to discuss at this point of time. So here you can remember /t is used for tab, /b is for backspace, double slash is for backslash, then slash quotation is used for single quote, slash double quote is used for double quote character. Open the Notepad application, then write the program. So here I am writing the program using the Notepad application. You can use any text editor. Now save the program. So I am saving inside app and inside the folder code, and the file name is test.java. So here you can see only test.java application is there, program is there, test.java program. Now upon command prompt, move to the F drive, then move to the folder code. We are moving to the folder code because we have kept our program there. And use the command javac test.java for compilation. So no such error is there. So it is going to generate test.class file, that is the bytecode. Now run the bytecode using the program java test. It is going to show the output hello world. Now write another program that we have discussed.